I continue now. Yes, I'm recording. Okay. So Maria, you're very good, right? What you said, right, is this the use of imagery to try to get to all the senses, right? It's not just the sight, but also smell, touch. Okay. So you work with that with poems.
Yes, exactly. We read poems and find some phrases which appeals to sight or smell according to what the sentences said.
Okay, perfect. Okay, the same analysis is the analysis that I'm asking you to do with prose. In this case, nonfiction. Okay? Yes? Good. So what are we going to do now that we are almost all here? Let me check again. So what we are going to do now, I'm going to divide you in small groups because I need you to discuss point number 2. Okay? So you are going to read, I suppose you already done it, right? To read this annotated part, the second part of the text, right? And you were supposed to underline or highlight these keywords and phrases that called your attention, right? So what I want you to do is to, in groups, try to share what you've done, what you've found out. Now, if you said, for example, I found the use of a lexical chain here because the writer uses, I don't know, the idea of library, books, shelves, reading, right? And all these refer to the idea of reading. Okay, what for? Why do you think that this lexical chain is important to be mentioned? Right? It's not just identifying. Now you have to give evidence, support your choice. Okay?
Anna.
Yes.
Here it says, read the extract again, including the second unannotated part.
Mm-hmm.
When I did it, I didn't understand what part is the annotated part.
And now do you understand?
No.
Okay, because I'm going to show you, right, which is, I have it here in the book. The annotated part, can you see it? The annotated part is this part. I mean, the first part with the notes.
Yes.
The comments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then the rest of the paragraph has no comments at all.
Okay.
So what you have to do is to do the same, right? So I read the second part of the text, sorry, of the fragment, and I said, okay, here I can see that there is a metaphor, or there are lexical chains here, or this is a symbol for, right? Or I don't know, direct repetitions, or the use of substitution. So think about everything that we have discussed in second year, right? All the cohesive devices. Are they used here? And if they are used here, why? With what effect? What happens with the tone of the language and the style of the writer? Okay? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to divide you. Let's see if everybody's here. There are 11 participants. I guess there were some others. Didi, are you here? I see that Didi is here, but well. Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm going to divide you in different groups, okay? And you discuss what you found. Now, it's not just identification. Remember, justify and give evidence, all right? Because then you would have to start writing. Yes? Let's see, there's somebody in the chat, and Sergio says he's, Oh, okay. He has electricity trouble at home. Okay, let's hope that he can join us later on. Okay. What about the rest? Are you okay? You know what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what you have to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
We were kind of lost at first, but then we got in the right track.
Okay, perfect. You are on the right track now, okay?
Yes.
So remember, you need to try to identify these cohesive devices, literary devices, in order to comment on them later, right? So think
All
about
right.
the effect, think about the effect those devices have on you as a reader, okay?
All right.
Think about those literary or cohesive devices, how they contribute to the author's style and to the author's language. Okay?
All right. Thank you,
Okay,
Anna.
good. Right. I'm going to visit the other groups.
Anna, it was just about the second part or the whole text.
Again, Camille?
We had to mark direct repetition, lexical change on the whole text or just the second part that was
The second part.
annotated.
The second part that was
Okay.
annotated, right?
Okay.
There was no notes, no comments. Yes,
Yes.
No, because I did it about the whole text.
Doesn't matter. Much better. Much better.
Oh, yes.
Right? If you did it with the whole, now concentrate on the second part, which is the one that has no notes or not comments. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Any questions? No.
No.
Good.
No.
Okay. So I'll call you back in 2 or 3.
Post idea,
Mhm.
and we found that, for example, if the text or the writer want to share to the reader some kind of regretful, and we are looking for the word melancholic. We don't know if it is right. It is right.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. That's good.
I check it.
Good. Okay. Very good. Very good. That's good. All right. Wait.
Focus.
Mm-hmm.
What does it refer?
For example, when you feel that the passage started with a very, you might say, melancholic tone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yes.
a very happy tone, right? Because you perceive that the writer or the characters are very happy. They are I don't know, enjoying life or whatever, and then all of a sudden the tone, right, changes, right? The writer feels melancholic, or the writer feels depressed, or whatever. How do you see that there are changes in tone?
Okay,
I can find the last sentence.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I decided to go to Timor. I think the tone changed to a more decisive, but there is decision in the idea to do something.
Right. I want to say that changes the tone. I don't think that it changes the tone, right? Because it's kind of melancholic, right? What is happening here in this paragraph, in this excerpt? What's happening here? The writer is remembering what and who?
His
I don't know if
grandfather.
remembering.
He's remembering?
Yes.
His grandfather, yeah.
Okay. When? In what circumstances?
When his grandmother died.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. So, do you think that there is some kind of there is a change in the tone, or the whole text is kind of melancholic? It's kind of sad.
Yes, I was telling the girls that maybe we don't have a precise description of this emotion, but yes, in the whole text.
Exactly,
As a
but
general idea.
imagine you would say, well, there is a change in the mood, and there is a change in the tone when the writer starts, for example, in this description of this scene on the beach, right? You can say, oh, okay, they were having a party and everybody was so happy and whatever. So there you might feel that there is a change in the tone, but the rest of but in the whole text, I don't think that there is a change. Okay, Noé, do you understand?
I can say.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay, people.
I can say that.
Yes.
Anna, sorry,
yes.
a minute. Didi told me she's not able to enter again.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to summon everybody to the main classroom so we can discuss this, okay? So start wrapping up.
Okay.
Okay, and we are back to the main room. Somebody's missing. Okay, so what can you tell me, people?
Anna.
Yes.
We marked or talk about the animetry. Me cuesta decir cómo la pronunciación, no sé si te diste cuenta.
Okay, it doesn't, Eileen, you know what you have to do? Look it up in the dictionary, right? Or look it up in internet. You said, you write imagery, right? Pronunciation, right? And there you are going to listen to it. Use the internet for that, people. And then say it several times. Try to imitate what you hear, right? And you're going to say,
I think the best option if you read it with the symbols.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yes.
I think it's the best one.
Okay, in internet you have the spelling, the phonetics, and the sound, right? So you have everything there. So, and you say it, you try to imitate.
I always look up the words in word reference, and there you have the definition, the translation in symbols, and the transcription, sorry, and the pronunciation.
Perfect, perfect, okay? And the question people practice a lot, right? Like imagery, right? Okay, good. So again, Eileen, you were saying that you found out that there are several instances of imagery.
Yes, and one of that is when it says the very sight of the name called forth images formed in my youth. In my mind's eye, I could see a party of emaciated castaways covered in tropical ulcers gathered on the beach.
Okay, all right. So what is the imagery here? What is the...
That Maria look up in the dictionary, what does it mean, mind's eye, and it's something you're imagining in your mind.
Exactly, all right. So what kind of device is that? The mind's eye. Let's see, is it a simile? No, it's the other?
Metaphor.
It's a metaphor, right? So you would say, I mean, the use of this expression mind's eye, which is a metaphor in order to okay? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, Eileen, that's very good, right? Any other device that you found?
The tone is a device?
No, the tone is not a device, right? The either cohesive devices or literary devices make up the tone. The tone is what you feel, right? If the tone of, I don't know, do you feel happiness, right? When you read it,
No.
You feel, okay, right? That's the tone, right?
We thought that this author is a kind of sad or disappointed with his grandfather because he had an image from him, and when he saw the photos, that view of him changed completely.
Do you agree? What does the rest say? Come on, I want to hear the others' opinions. Santi?
Yeah, I'm in the same group, but what I have to add to that is that as we read the passage, it's like we are witnessing the transition from the unknown facts to this kind of second life that the grandfather had with another man. I don't know if we were right, but I think that's the plot of everything.
Okay, that's your interpretation, and as long as you can support your interpretation, that's good. People, the idea is that there are no black and white answers here. Okay, this is the richness of the exercise, that I can read your commentaries and each of you is going to find different aspects in the reading, okay, which is what I'm looking for. There are no black and white answers, okay? So as long as you support with evidence from the text, you support what you're saying, that's perfect, okay? Yes? Good.
Yes.
What about any other groups? Come on, I want to listen to other comments.
Yes, Andrea, Andres, and I analyzed the tone. We agreed that this is melancholic. What else? I don't remember, Andrea. Melancholic, and the other word?
Regretful.
Regretful, right? Regretful, that you feel that the writer is regretting, right, something from his life.
And this as an example of juxtaposed words, ideas, or feelings.
Okay, perfect. Right, very good.
And I also says repetition.
Ah, yes, the repetition of
the repetition
grandfather.
of what? Okay, what happens? Good. So you've identified direct repetition of the word grandfather. The word grandfather is repeated like I don't know how many times throughout the text. Okay, what for? Because if you tell me there is direct repetition and you do not support it, I mean, that's not enough. So what for? Why do you think that the writer chooses to use the direct repetition?
Because it's the main idea. Grandfather, the word is part of the main idea of the text.
Okay, all right. I wouldn't say the main idea. I mean, he wants the reader to remain, you can say, he wants the reader to remain focused on the character, on the main character, which is his grandfather, and it's the source of all his, I don't know, controversial feelings. Okay? Yes? Good, very good. So people, whenever you get together, your aim is to try to get ideas, okay? That's why I put you together, because I want you to discuss ideas, because then when you write, you need to write ideas, all right? Remember what we said last year. Writing, I mean, we pay attention to writing as a process and writing as a product, both things, right? And from the point of view of discourse, this means that we need to say something. So we need the ideas, okay? Good. So let's go on. Let's continue, because we have only 10 minutes left and I want to, 7 minutes. Okay, so then what you have to do for next class, there's one task which is divided into activities, activity 6 and activity 7, right? So in activity 6, what we are going to see here, is how to evaluate commentaries, right? Let's see how, let's try to get to a good comment. So in order to do that, we need to assess and evaluate if some other people have written good comments, all right? So let's do this. Let's read the task. It says, read the task below. It says, read the passage presented in this handout. So you go to the handout, sorry. Is your screen changing? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you are going to read the passage, sorry, while it charges. It says, read the passage presented in this handout. It describes the writer's experience in Burma when he was serving as a police officer at a time when the British ruled the country. He has been ordered, I need to write the ED here, sorry, to deal with a possible threat posed by an elephant. So what is it that we know? That the writer is in Burma. What is Burma?
India.
Okay, it's okay, in India. And then he was serving as a police officer at a time when the British ruled the country. So imagining, right?
So before 1947.
He has been ordered to deal with a possible threat posed by an elephant, right? Now, you have to comment on the style and language of the passage. This is the passage, okay? You have it here, right? This is written by George Orwell, okay? So this is the passage. So you read the passage, you read the passage. And then it says, discuss, discuss with a partner. What happens in the passage? What do you find particularly effective or striking about the account? The story. What kinds of things might you write about if commenting on the style and language? So imagine that you have to write a comment on that passage. What would you comment about and why? Right? Then you have to read the response. This is a student's response here, right? You read the student's response. As you read it, consider to what extent it meets the success criteria for such response. So is this response a good one? Yes, no, why? Discuss with a partner. What works well and what doesn't work well in this response? Which success criteria have not been met? So you need to go back to the do's and don'ts, all right? Then what single thing do you feel about most have improved in the response? Okay? Yes? So,
yes.
what you are going to do is you need to get together with somebody else. So you need to work in pairs or in group of 3s, but not more than 3, okay? And you try to answer the questions. You analyze the questions in activity 1 to 6 and in activity 1 to 7. Once you've analyzed everything, you have to post your ideas here in this forum, okay? So, activity 6, activity 7 says, share your answers to these activities with the rest of the class. Remember to name your partner in your post, okay? Yes, people? This is for next class. Next class is going to be the 13th, exactly, right? The 13th is going to be at 6:30. We are going to have classes at 6:30, 13. Now, something that is important, I need you to have this in mind. all your answers to tasks and activities dealt with the COVID-19 lockdown should be handed in when required before sitting to the final exam in December. So what does it mean? That you need to start collecting everything that you do in a written form in a portfolio, okay? Folder, call it folder, portfolio, or whatever, but have your evidence.
Anna.
Because then in December, I need the evidence that you have been working with everything. Yes, who's asking? Eileen.
Yes, in my case, I have them on a copybook. Because I don't like to write on the computer, so
Okay, copybook, that's okay. Copybook, that's okay. All right. Then when we get to December, we'll see what we can do. Okay, people. Okay. This is all for today. We have less than a minute, right? I think that time flies when we are here in the computer. So whatever doubts you have, write to me via Campus, right, from the platform, and I'll try to be with you, all right? So remember, our next meeting is the 13th. Have everything ready, okay? Yes?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll see you next,
Thank you.
a Monday
Bye-bye.
and a fortnight. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, people.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Take care.